Good morning. Welcome here in the sanctuary. Welcome online to the Unitarian Universalist Church of St. Petersburg. This is our Sunday service, and we are on land stolen from the Tocobaga and Seminole indigenous Americans. This week, Eastern Orthodox Christians celebrate Christmas. Tomorrow is Twelfth Night, and Tuesday is Epiphany for Christians and Sakat Chauth for Hindus. My name is Ben. My pronouns are he and they, and I am excited for today's worship service. It's called Forms of Resistance, Building Bridges, and Other Practical Suggestions. We're going to have a view from the pew from Christine Barker and the Racial Justice team. Music will be by Liam Dunn. Our hymns will be led by Michael Rowe, and today's worship associate is John Motter.
Thanks, Ben. My name is indeed John, and my pronouns are he, him. If you want a church where books are a tool for expanding your knowledge rather than being banned, where a different opinion can spark a civil conversation, or believe that the recipient of the Nobel Peace Prize shouldn't use the armed forces to capture another country's president. Just when you think it can't, it does. But in that line, I have good news for you. You may have found your church home. As a congregation, we welcome the unique energy that children and some adults bring to our services. There are fidget toys available at the back of the church for anyone who would like one for the service.
Thanks, John. We have three brief announcements this morning. First, it's the first Sunday of the month. That means we have time with the minister in the Gilmore Library following the worship service. All are welcome.
It is also, because the first Sunday of the month, it's the LGBTQIA+ brunch. That's happening at Three Birds Tavern. It's at 1492 4th Street North, just up the road, at 12:15. We meet inside the restaurant. Friends and allies are always welcome. And right after the service, if you could let Christine McDonald know, and she is right down here, let her know that you're going, just so we can give them a fairly accurate head count.
Our final announcement involves an activity that I started like a year or two ago where we move around the lake after a worship service every Sunday. I thought it would be a good chance for me to get to explore the lake and get to know people, have good conversations, and it turns out I do it about once every 3 months. So we're not going to officially sponsor that as a church activity anymore. We replaced that with the time with the minister. Of course, anyone can make an appointment to talk with me, and anyone can walk around the lake. There's a lake there. It just won't be a church-sponsored activity.
Please read the rest of your announcements in the order of service and our monthly newsletter and on the TV in Gilmore Hall during coffee hour.
Now, as Unitarian Universalists, we are a people of diverse beliefs. I'm going to get into that a lot today. But we do share this common faith that we are connected to one another and to the earth, that every being is worthy of love, and that what we do in this world matters. So whoever you are and wherever you are in your journey, you are welcome here. And I want a special welcome to any newcomers or anyone who hasn't been here in a while that are friends of mine. If you're new or newish to St. Pete, can you just give a little wave? Hello, nice to see you. And as an option, hi Ruby, thank you for waving. If you want to say a sentence or two about what brought you here, that would be great. So raise your hand again. You are under no obligation to do so. But if you're willing, then John will bring you the microphone. One willing. Thank you.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm Allegra. I was raised UU in New Jersey, and so we're just here to explore and say hi.
Welcome, Allegra.
Hi, I'm Lisa. I'm a longtime friend of Ben, Reverend Ben. We're here from Massachusetts, my wife Zoe and her mom Lorraine, and delighted to be here as always. I was saying as I came in, I don't visit a lot of UU churches when I'm on vacation as a minister myself, but I always come here.
Thank you, Reverend Lisa. It's good to see you. Good to see you all.
And I'm Zoe, Lisa's wife. And I just wanted to say I'm an old friend of Ben's from grad school. We got our master's in social education together at UMass Amherst. So it's always great to reconnect with Ben, and this is the second year in a row we've been able to come during this time of year. So I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
Good to have you here, Zoe. Thanks for sharing. Thank you even more for silencing your cell phones. And we have masks available at either entrance. You may wear one as it's comfortable. I've been told there's some crackling in the T-coil for those of you who are using your hearing aids. And so what we're going to do is we're going to shut off the entire sound system in a minute during Greet Your Neighbor. Now, during Greet Your Neighbor, please ask for consent if you're going to hug or shake hands. But let's take a minute both to restart the sound system and say hello to your neighbors. Nice. Is that Mary? Go now in peace, go now in peace. May the spirit of love surround you everywhere, everywhere you may go. Please rise as you're willing and able for our first hymn, one of my favorites, Love Will Guide Us. It's number 131 in the gray hymnal.
We'll sing all three verses, but the last verse is the first verse again. Love will guide us, peace has tried us, hope inside us will lead the way on the road from creed to giving. Love will guide us through the hard night. If you cannot sing like angels, if you cannot speak before thousands, you can give from deep within you. You can change the world with your love.
Try some harmony.
Love will guide us, peace has tried us, hope inside us will lead the way on the road from greed to giving. Love will guide us through the hard night.
Please remain standing for our chalice lighting. Flaming chalice is a reminder that we choose to focus here today. You're on, you guys. And we believe such a time is sacred. Now, Ruby and Katie are going to light our chalice. Ruby, thank you for doing this before you are dismissed to your classes. And when they do that, I invite you to say our covenant out loud. The words are in your programs and also online. You can do 2 hand movements if you want, your hand to heart, and then your hands reaching out like you are serving. Ready? Love is the spirit of this church, and service its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. You may be seated. Thanks, guys.
We come to the time in our worship service for joys, sorrows, and concerns. Those of you on YouTube Live are not in this room, but your presence is still felt. Please type your joys and sorrows into the text chat. If you have a joy, sorrow, concern to submit during the week, please write to Reverend Ben. It's minister@uustpete.org.
Jane Bunker has agreed to place a stone in the water for each one that was submitted this week. And I just got another card, so if you have more, now's the time to either bring them up or get someone else to. I have this one, so Johnny will take Sabina's.
Each week we appreciate someone or someones who have worked hard to accomplish our mission. This week we have a stone of joy for those who staffed last week's cold night shelter, with special thanks to Sabine Bonalik for organizing and for talking with Channel 10.
Thank you, Sabina. Thank you, everyone. We have a stone of sorrow today, and it's from Emily Jacob Eisen. Emily's father died suddenly on New Year's Day. Emily had just moved to the Orlando area in order to spend the year with him.
A stone of joy and gratitude for the president of our Unitarian Universalist Association, Reverend Dr. Sophia Betancourt. Another stone for our UUA staff and leaders, especially the staff of the UUA Southern Region Office.
A stone of concern, the Democratic Hispanic Caucus of Pinellas County is having a group walk in the January 19th Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day Parade. We're going to be talking more about that parade later.
I have a stone of concern from Donna Starr. I'm doing my best to bring healing, both physical and emotional, to my family and appreciate any well wishes to create harmony and health.
That's all I have.
And then a stone of joy from Sabina for the great turnout for our cleanup inside and outside. Really good news is that each one of us can keep the place clean.
Yes, thank you, cleaners. There are a lot of you here. Let's place one stone in for those joys and sorrows and concerns that remain in our hearts. Maybe they're too tender to be spoken out loud. And may all of us find a comforting and compassionate presence in the warmth of fellowship, in the warmth of community.
We now invite you to say the UU St. Pete mission aloud. It's printed in your order of service. Our mission is to be an inclusive, evolving religious community that inspires spiritual and intellectual growth to make our world a better place. We bring our mission to life through our wide range of shared ministries: social justice, religious education, pastoral care, and many more.
The mysteries that we're connected even when we feel apart. So let's rejoice in our beloved community that makes of the many one. And let's take about a minute of silence together.
Spirit of life, come unto me. Sing in my heart all the stirrings of compassion. Blow in the wind, rise in the sea, move in the hand, giving life the shape of justice. Roots Holy Ghost, wings set me free. Spirit of life, come to me, come to me.
Hi, nice to see everybody. My name, as most of you know, is Christine Barker. I use the pronouns she and her. I've been a member of UUSP since 2017, and I'm happy to be here this morning to share the view from the pew from the UUSP Racial Justice Team. The topic of today's service is forms of resistance, building bridges, and other practical suggestions. Working towards racial justice is resistance. It's resisting the centuries-old structural and institutional racism that has been in our country since its inception, when enslaved people were brought to the United States against their will. And that structural and institutional racism remains woven deeply in the fabric of all of our daily lives, and also within us, since we're part of those institutions. Racial justice is the work of resisting white supremacy in all of its forms, including the deeper and less obvious devaluation of the experiences, insights, and lived reality of people of color that exists and persists throughout our society. So how do we resist? We resist through education and developing a deeper understanding of how structural racism and implicit bias affects us all. We resist with joy, with love, and compassion for each other. We resist through building bridges, strengthening our connection to each other here at UUSP and to anyone who walks in our doors, and to the community around us. We resist by telling our stories and striving to understand the stories and histories of others. We resist by tolerating the discomfort of being with each other and ourselves as we have these difficult conversations that most of us have little experience of. Most of us have very little experience of actually talking about racism, what it means to us personally, our lives, how it's impacted us, about our upbringing. So we resist by tolerating the discomfort of those conversations. And we resist by taking practical steps to move towards the beautiful aspiration of racial justice and joining in the many opportunities we have, especially this month, right? Practical suggestions, that's where we're at. So this month, we have so many opportunities to resist. We can experience the joy and community of marching with UUSP and the Interfaith Alliance in the MLK Parade on Monday, January 19th. For those of you who haven't been there, it is quite an amazing, amazing parade. It's one of the largest and longest running MLK parades in the nation. Attendance has grown from roughly 50,000 in its early years in the 1980s to crowds topping 100,000 in recent celebrations. It deeply honors Dr. Martin Luther King's legacy through music, dance, and cultural pride. So beautiful. There's so much music and energy and just wonderful feeling. So we'll have more information about that if anyone wants to sign up and march with us. Another practical suggestion, get your very own UUSP Black Lives Matter hoodie or t-shirt. I think Rebecca's got one on, she can model hers. It also reps our RE on the back, so when we're wearing it around town, we let people know that we have RE on Sunday mornings. And for our final suggestion, we really encourage each one of you sitting here or listening on YouTube to come together with us in a beloved community to learn, have difficult conversations, and deeply get to know each other by taking the Living the Pledge to End Racism workshop. This will be our third year of offering the workshop here at UUSP. The first year we offered it twice, last year we offered it once, and this year we're offering it in January, February. It is a 12-hour workshop that was developed by the First Unitarian Universalist Church of Richmond, Virginia in approximately 2014, and they developed it really as a form of resistance. Sadly, all of the then well-known killings of black people in the hands of police like Tamir Rice. So far, over 65 members of our congregation have taken the workshop and pledged to end racism. So who here has taken the workshop so you can talk with them? Reverend Ben. Reverend Ben took time out of his very busy schedule last year to attend, which we were really honored to. So speak to any of us about what this workshop has meant to us. The workshop consists of 6 two-hour sessions, pre- and post-studies, materials, and we move from the intrapersonal, the introspective, to interpersonal, to global and community issues. We explore how our own cultural biases begin to open to the experience of peoples of other races and cultures. And really, for most of us who've taken the course, we've gotten a lot of feedback that one of the most beautiful things about the course was really talking with each other. The course is structured so that there's a lot of opportunity for small conversations. And I'm looking at Rebecca, like we sort of slowly actually try to include even more, conversations with small groups, because it's a time for us really to talk to each other about where we come from, how we grew up, where did we, come up with some of these ideas and values that we have, and it's really transformative. So, those are my practical suggestions, our practical suggestions. So please stop by the racial justice table after service or talk with any of us racial justice team members who can wave. Rebecca, John, Kelly's here, Amy, Suzanne. So, thank you so much.
Testing. Good morning. So the anthem, it says anthem, right, is the musical centerpiece of our service. And so if you're new here, this is the song that is really going to summarize the message of this service. And this is a song that I learned about this past year since working here. Apparently one of the most famous Unitarian songwriters is named Pete Seeger. And I know Ben has known him personally too. So it's been really, really cool to listen to some of his music. And this is a song called If I Had a Hammer, which is about some of the things that we may have and some of the power that we may have to affect this land and our brothers and sisters in this land. If If I had a hammer, I invite you to sing along. I'd ring it in the morning, I'd ring it in the evening, all over this land. I'd ring out danger, I'd ring out warning, I'd ring out love between my brothers and my sisters, all over this land. If I had a bell, I'd ring it in the morning, I'd ring it in the evening, all over this land. I'd ring out danger, I'd ring out warning, I'd ring out love between my brothers and my sisters, all over this land. If I had a song, I'd sing it in the morning, I'd sing it in the evening, all over this land. I'd sing out danger, I'd sing out warning, I'd sing out love between my brothers and my sisters, all over this land. Well, I have a hammer, and I've got a bell. I have a song all over this land. I'll sing, excuse me. Sorry. It's the bell of freedom. It's the song of love between my brothers and my sisters, all over this land.
Thank you, Liam. Thank you, Christine. Our theme for January is practicing resistance. The worship team felt that we should begin by very practical suggestions for doing so, and I appreciate Christine Barker and the racial justice team's suggestions. Who remembers them? March with us at the MLK parade, take the next anti-racism workshop, and wear the shirts, exactly. And the hymn, I was glad that Liam talked about sort of, the music isn't just random. The music is chosen to be an essential part of the message, and it kind of has an arc. And so we started off with Love Will Guide Us, and that also was on purpose. That gives us some practical suggestions. If you cannot sing like angels, if you cannot speak before thousands, you can give from deep within you. You can change the world with your love. So that's 4 more suggestions: singing, speaking, giving, loving. What forms of resistance call to you, speak to you? You say it out loud, I will say it into here. Showing up. Thank you, Carol. Yeah. Deb. Today, the vigil at the 49th Street Jail. Thank you, Deb. Someone said something over here, I thought. Speaking out. Writing letters and emails. What, Dana? Bumper stickers. Signs on my truck. Now, with such a wide range of practical suggestions, Unitarian Universalists might be accused of not having a focus, not being focused enough. But rather than uniting with a single suggestion, I wholeheartedly embrace this idea of multiple ways to resist. Liam just sang a song by the late, great Pete Seeger. And on his 90th birthday, Seeger said, "Normally I'm against big things." He said, "I think the world is going to be saved by millions of small things." And I have that saying on a t-shirt. We do resist in a variety of ways, But as Unitarian Universalists, we can work from the same foundation, and that foundation is stated best in our values, like interdependence, like equity, like justice. We've said the Buddhist metta of loving kindness here before. May you be peaceful, may you be happy, may you be safe, and may you be free. And you remember that we do 4 stages to that. First to yourself, then to someone you love, then to someone you kind of feel neutral about, and then finally we say it to our, quote, enemies. May you be peaceful, may you be happy, may you be safe, may you be free. Other churches tell you who to fear and who to hate. We ask you to love everyone, even those we are resisting. Let's take a minute now to, that's an awful lot of smoke. The big old flame, we got a big old flame today. Let's review what we are resisting. Some have called it encroaching fascism and autocracy. Some call it patriarchy. Some have called it no kings. And again, the hymn Love Will Guide Us says we are on the road from greed to giving. John already mentioned that yesterday our president invaded Venezuela without congressional approval. In response, our Unitarian Universalist Association said, we condemn the military strikes overnight against the country of Venezuela. These actions were taken, the UUA said, after months of U.S. military harassment resulting in the deaths of Venezuelan citizens, civilians, and undertaken without involvement of Congress, according to published reports. As people of faith and conscience, the UUA said, it is essential to speak out now as this situation quickly escalates, creating dangers across the hemisphere. The people of Venezuela have the right, as all people do, to safety and self-determination. The UU says we urge our elected leaders and the courts to exercise definitive moral leadership to swiftly curtail these abuses of power and prevent this administration from causing further loss of life and violations of international law. I believe Krisha posted about a rally in Williams Park at 4 p.m. today, and Deb mentioned a second rally at the courthouse. Now, it's important, I'm talking about rallies, but it's important to note that we're not just talking about political resistance. We are talking about theological resistance and moral resistance. We resist as is our right under the democratic process as part of our religious freedom. The UUA statement goes on to say, UUs believe that these actions violate our shared religious values, particularly of interdependence and pluralism. These actions by the administration are precisely the kind of abuse of power by a military aggression that the UUs have condemned throughout the denomination's history. And I'll get more into that history in a minute. Of course, other denominations support military intervention, and other denominations believe in a punishing, wrathful God. They often describe themselves as God-fearing. Their God punishes sin and rewards the virtuous. The ultimate reward being an afterlife of bliss, the ultimate punishment being an eternity of suffering. It is an us-them theology. Those deserving of salvation divided from those deserving of damnation. And if someone is suffering, the assumption is that person should work harder, pull themselves up by their bootstraps, comply with what authority tells them to do. If someone's wealthy, the assumption is that individual became wealthy by hard work, not by a system of white supremacy. The philosophy is an individualist one, and I would label it a toxic individualism. And the theology is often transactional. If I sin X amount of times, I suffer eternal damnation. If I do what I'm supposed to, or for some, if I am one of the elect, then I get to go to heaven. Sinners and saints, deserving and undeserving, us and them. At its worst, this theology can be weaponized to score political points. It won't just draw the us and them distinctions. They'll directly tell you who to fear and who to hate. When Donald Trump was running against Kamala Harris, his campaign ran a series of ads featuring transgender people. Each ad ended with 9 words. Kamala is for they, them. Trump is for you. The ad became known as one of the most successful in history. It shifted the race a 2.7 percentage point after even one viewing. The campaign successfully stoked false myths about and fear of trans people, while simultaneously putting them squarely in the camp of not you, of other, of them. But Unitarian Universalists believe in interconnection and interdependence. Trans people are us, as are BIPOC people, LGBTQIA plus people, disabled people, neurodivergent people, undocumented people, and yes, Venezuelan people. We don't necessarily believe in a supreme being at all, but those of us that do, it's usually not an old white dude in a chair judging us. There are agnostic and atheist UUs in this room. Also Jewish UUs, Christian UUs, Sikh UUs, pagan UUs, pantheist UUs, and many of us whose beliefs are evolving. And our theology tells us to reject divisions, to reject us-them thinking, to reject the notion of more deserving and less deserving. We don't believe in hell except maybe what we're creating here on earth. We believe that all beings deserve respect, deserve liberty, deserve freedom, not just the beings that look like us. And we resist. We resist by marching. We resist by loving. We resist by singing, by listening and learning, by reading and discussing banned books. We resist with somber words and with silliness, with petitions and creativity. We resist at the ballot box, and at the same time we defend the democratic process that we hold so dear. We sometimes even resist by breaking the law. We sometimes resist by praying on a mural about to be erased that says Black History Matters. I talked with some of you this week about the roots of our denomination, because historically both Unitarianism and Universalism were Christian denominations, though I'm guessing a majority of us today do not identify as Christian. Well, many do, but probably not a majority. And I'm here to tell you the same resistance taking place today has been taking place since at least the American colonial period. Same division of interdependence theology versus us and them and fear theology was taking place in the 1700s and 1800s. That's right, friends. In times like these, what we need most is a history lesson. No? So African and European Universalism, African and European Unitarianism, some of you know this, began when Christian theologians could find no biblical evidence for the Trinity. Their research was the Bible, and they found, Michael Servetus and others, it does not contain any proof that the Trinity exists. Sure, they believed that Jesus was divine. They were Christians. They also believed that God created Jesus, so God at least came first. Unitarian meaning one God, Trinitarian meaning three. This was the heresy of Arianism. It became known as the heresy of Arianism. And then Universalism began in North Africa as well, and it began as a belief that God was loving rather than punishing. American colonial universalists believed that everyone could get to heaven, and this put them at odds with the Calvinist Puritans that were in charge at the time. As a result, universalists were not allowed to sign business contracts or serve on juries. The reasoning being, how can you trust someone who's not afraid of eternal damnation? If you're not afraid of sinning, what's to stop you from sinning all the time? And the Puritans believed human nature to be inherently sinful, and that only through individual repentance from sin could they be saved. But the universalists believed in a loving God, believed in collective salvation rather than individual salvation, and they couldn't conceive of a God that would punish those God loved by torturing them, especially for an eternity. In the early 1800s, Universalist Hosea Ballou said, "If we agree in love, there is no disagreement that can do us any injury. But if we do not, no other agreement can do us any good. Let us endeavor," he said, "to keep the unity of the Spirit in the bonds of peace." Interdependence theology, resisting fear theology. 111 years ago, the matriarchs of two Universalist families founded this church. And I'm guessing that Mrs. Pearl Cole and Mrs. West were seeking an alternative to churches where God was seen as wrathful and punishing. As Universalists, these two families were drawn to a loving God, so they formed this church in 1914. Our first two ministers were women, Reverend Elizabeth Bartlett and Reverend Harriet Baker Robinson. Interdependence theology, resisting fear theology. The Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was a Universalist. Many of you know he often used Theodore Parker's moral arc of the universe bends towards justice quote. Parker was a Unitarian minister and coined that in the 1800s. Dr. King famously believed that an injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. So not just injustices against Black Americans. Where's Robert? Robert Klingman sent me a link to a New York Times book review. Yes, this week, and thank you for doing that. This book apparently is called Radical Universalism, and it talks about King's decision to oppose the war in Vietnam. Because at the time, the war was still overwhelmingly popular among Americans. The NAACP called King's attempt to draw a link between civil rights at home and peace abroad a serious tactical mistake. Liberal critics accused King of jeopardizing the fight for racial equality. And King himself allowed that his anti-war position was, quote, probably politically unwise. But he added it was morally necessary, and that anyone who truly comprehended what the civil rights movement was ultimately about should have recognized that in the face of hundreds of thousands trembling under our violence, he could not be silent. An injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Interdependence theology, resisting fear theology. And today, our resistance takes many shapes. 2 vigils this afternoon alone. Pete Seeger's millions of small things. We march, we sing, we love, we write, we organize, we read. And that resistance is grounded in centuries of theology, in centuries of an evolving religious community. Like Dr. King, our resistance may not be politically wise, may not be popular, but our resistance is informed by our values of interdependence, equity, and justice. So whatever forms of resistance call to you, let us remember that history. Let us remember that theology. Let us remember that we stand on the shoulders of giants. Remember that we are not alone, either in space or in time. Let us resist together, knowing as Sweet Honey in the Rock sang it, we are our grandmother's prayers. We are our grandfather's dreamings. We are the breath of our ancestors. We are the Spirit of God. I'll end with words from noted Universalist Olympia Brown. She was one of the first women to be ordained by any denomination. Dear friends, stand by this faith, work for it, and sacrifice for it. There's nothing in all the world so important to you as to be loyal to this faith, which has placed before you the loftiest ideals, which has comforted you in sorrow, strengthened you for noble duty, and made the world beautiful for you. Do not demand immediate results, she said, but rejoice that you are worthy to be entrusted with this great message and that you are strong enough to work for a great, true principle without counting the cost. Go on finding ever new applications of these truths. Amen. Ashe. Blessed be.
We eat fruit from trees planted long before we were born. May we plant seeds that bear fruit long after we are gone. In the sanctuary, the offering will now be given and received.
That which is given in love is received with great joy. Thank you. Thank you, Barbara. Please rise as you're willing and able for our next hymn. It's Building Bridges, number 1023 in the Teal hymnal, and it is a round. We get to practice what we've been being preached to about. A lot of prepositions in that. I believe in you all. We can do this.
We're going to involve musicians besides ourselves in this round. We need volunteers. If you think, this is for you, I see hands going up already. If you think you want to help, because we've got some rhythm parts, come on down. We need 6 people. I have 1 coming already. 2, 3. I see 3 moving towards the front.
Thanks, Amy. Cinda.
Great. Anyone else? 4, 5. Great. 1 more. Oh, I saw Joanne scratch her eyebrow. She wants to come up. You want to come up? You got it. Come on, Joanne.
Rhythm.
All rhythm, yeah. Oh, there's a chair here for you. Come on over. Yeah. That's a winner. I'm grabbing that one.
Thanks.
All right.
Allegra. Do we have another one for Allegra? Michael? Allegra?
Oh, yeah. So if you instrumentalists would just hold tight for a minute, we're going to sing this tune together, Michael and I. If you haven't heard it before, you can listen to us. And then we'll let them play with us too, and then we can all sing together after you've heard it once.
And if you know it, you can join us.
Miss F.
All right, here we are.
Building bridges between our divisions. I reach out to you, will you reach out to me? With all of our voices and all of our visions, friends, we could make such sweet harmony. Go ahead and sing with us. Building bridges between our divisions. I reach out to you, will you reach out to me? With all of our voices and all of our visions, friends, we could make such sweet harmony. I see you've already started to play. You can make up your own pattern. Need help? Does anyone want a
Suggestion? No. They're feeling ready. All right. Okay. So now it's going to turn into a round, which means we're going to go through it 2 times, and those on this side will start with Liam, and then 2 measures after they start, the other side will start with me, and when we get through the second time, this side can join us on the last 2 bars. Cool.
So my friends over here, sing with me now. And you guys, 1. Go ahead. Building bridges between our divisions. I reach out to you, will you reach out to me? With all of our voices and all of our visions, friends, we could make such sweet harmony. Building bridges between our divisions. Reach out to you, will you reach out to me? With all of our voices and all of our visions, with friends we could make such sweet harmony. Friends, we could make such sweet harmony.
Done.
You did it!
Thank you, musicians, for
You
your
may be
help.
seated. Pete Seeger would be proud. So our closing reading, speaking of ancestors, I don't know if any of you were attending here when Reverend Wes Stevens was the minister. Anyone? One of you. So Reverend Wes passed this past year. His picture is up there. And this week I got a letter from his widow, Barbara Stevens, who was also the director of religious education here for many years. Barbara says that the reading, and it was his Christmas letter. He used to do the Christmas letter, so she did it in his name. And this particular quote, she says, was a combination of words from Dr. Kent Keith and Mother Teresa.
People are often unreasonable, irrational, and self-centered. Forgive them anyway.
If you are kind, people may accuse you of selfish, ulterior motives. Be kind anyway.
If you are successful, you will win some unfaithful friends and some genuine enemies. Succeed anyway.
If you are honest and sincere, people may deceive you. Be honest anyway.
What you spend years creating, others could destroy overnight. Create anyway.
If you find serenity and happiness, some may be jealous. Be happy anyway.
The good you do today will often be forgotten. Do good anyway.
Giving the best you have may never be enough. Give your best anyway. We have a closing hymn. It says it's 133 in the gray hymnal. That was a mistake on my part. It's 134 in the gray hymnal. Our world is one world. Please rise as you are willing and able.
Our world is one world. What touches one affects us all. The seas that wash us round about, the clouds that cover us, the rains that fall. Our world is one world. The thoughts we think affect us all. The way we build our attitudes with love or hate we make a bridge or wall. Our world is one world. Its ways of wealth affect us all. The way we spend, the way we share, who are the rich or poor, who stand or fall. Our world is one world, just like a ship that bears us all, where fear and greed make many boats, but where our hearts can hear a different call.
Please remain standing for our chalice extinguishing.
We invite you to follow along with the hand gestures, light of truth to head, warmth of love to heart, power of courage with your fingers, as Rebecca Wilson extinguishes, as Rebecca Wilson extinguishes our chalice. The words of USP's traditional chalice extinguishing are in your order of service. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of love, or the fire of courage. These we carry in our hearts and out into the world.
Our worship, you may be seated. Our worship is over, but our service begins. So please join us for coffee hour in Gilmore Hall, and all are welcome to continue this conversation or another conversation in the library with me. We hope this time together will help you through your week, will help you remember you are not alone. Blessings. Thank you.